Hi Pisces, welcome to February. Excited to be here for your monthly oracle messages. Soul guidance. I'm using a new deck, the Threads of Fate, the Shadow Edition. I'm really excited. I felt called to use it for Mercury retrograde period. See what your strength is. And your challenge. Okay. Bottom of the deck you have compassion, which goes very in line with what your strength is. Love, but this is giving me very cosmic heart vibes and heart center activations, expansion. Your challenge is manifest. And the only reason why you would be struggling with this if you're feeling like your heart center is off or isn't open or is closed. I'm also sensing that part of you is struggling to let go of something that you have already created. And kind of resisting the evolution that it's making, or potentially even the death process of letting something go so that it can shift and change into something else. This heart is a flame, which means that it seems like this full moon in Leo that precedes February and the start of February, that like lunar cycle is giving you either heart healing or potentially purging in some way. And both, right? Because purging can be a healing process. It's really interesting. It looks like love might be a fire energy in this deck. No, it's not. What is it then? I don't know what it is. Let me find it. There's manifest. Let me bookmark it so I can. It's ether. So I'll start by saying the fact that this definitely feels very upper dimensional, like connecting with primordial creation. Being a creatrix or a manifester is operating in the ways that Source operates, with this open hands, like I am birthing this thing or creating this thing almost without an agenda, allowing the thing that's being created to dictate and determine how it's going to express, versus trying to insert our own desire into it, which seems like that wouldn't like make sense. If you're making something, you want to make it on purpose. But if we're especially with manifest as a challenge, if we are being too restrictive or rigid, it will block the flow. So let's see. This card is an invitation to examine love in all facets of your life. This is love of self, love of others, your healthy or not so healthy boundaries, your presence with others, your relationship with intimacy, if you feel seen and heard, passion, joy, and total responsibility. This card could signal a need to build a better relationship internally, or maybe with a partner in your business or work life, or even towards a goal or a hobby. It could also be a reminder that love is a choice. Sit with these questions. Do you actively work on your relationship with yourself? Do you feel you trust and respect yourself? If you have a partner, do you feel imbalance in the relationship? Do you feel balance in your friendships? How do you feel in your work environment? What is your relationship with passion? Do you take... there's a little typo in the book. Do you make time for it? What about with intimacy? Do you feel comfortable with it? Do you feel love avoidance or love addicted? What is your attachment style? How do you express love? Our relationship with love in all its forms is always in motion and flux. When this card makes itself known to you, it simply means you should spend a day or two witnessing how love lives in your life. And we're reading the Spirit of Intimacy together in the sanctuary. If you're wanting to become a part of that space, you can sign up to be on the wait list to be notified when we open next quarter. And of course, if you join Rebirth, you automatically get access to the sanctuary. But this deepening our relationship with love and transforming or allowing the way that we love to be transformed is what's happening for us. So let's look at the challenge. This card signals a period of time where your manifestation work would be extra potent. What you have been working towards is on its way to you. If you feel anxious or obsessive, it is time to release it and let the universe work some magic. Just let it go. When we are working on manifesting, it is important that we do the following. We must be clear on what we want, not what we don't want. We must visualize ourselves experiencing it. This means tapping into the feelings we would have if we did have it. After we have focused on it long enough, we must release it so it can be manifested. This card asks you to examine your process. Are you lacking clarity in your desires? Are you sending the universe mixed signals by focusing on what you don't want or what you lack? Are you too focused? Reflect on how you show up for your manifesting practice and make any adjustments that need to be made. And I really do feel like in this context, Pisces, this really isn't necessarily about a general or broad manifestation. This is very something specifically that you're working for or working towards. And so actually getting less specific and tapping more into the feeling of a thing versus like the end goal or the end result that you've been so focused on is actually what's going to help you create it into a form that is actually complete and fully representative of what your intentions are. Because you might be too in the weeds or too in the details. And if you tap into the feeling of either how you want to feel or how you want others to feel, the ideas and the instructions will flow. Okay? Awesome. Let's get into the reading.